Hi guys, so one of the things you're going to be asked to do during your IELTS writing test is to write a formal letter. In this video, I am going to give you a sample letter which is as close to a band 9 as you can get. Let's get straight into it. So what will the examiner be looking for? In order to achieve a high band score, you need to make sure you do the following. You need to write a minimum of 150 words in 20 minutes. Since this isn't a lot of time, you need to make sure that you plan the letter very carefully. I advise that you spend around 5 minutes planning the letter and leave around 2 to 3 minutes at the end to check the letter over for any mistakes. During the planning stage, think about the following 3 things. Make sure that the purpose of the letter is clearly presented. Number 2, make sure the tone of the letter is appropriate in style. Number 3, make sure the format is appropriate, i.e. a letter format. So let's take a look at the question and then we're going to read the entire sample letter together. You recently stayed at a hotel. You left a personal item behind. Write a letter to the hotel manager. In your letter, describe the item you left behind, explain where you think you left it, and ask the manager what you should do to retrieve the lost item. Before I begin reading the letter, notice how there are no addresses. Although addresses are normally included in letters, for the purpose of the IELTS test, you do not need to put any addresses. So let's get straight into the letter. Dear Sir, Madam, I trust this letter finds you well. I am reaching out to notify you of an item I believe I may have left behind during my recent stay at your esteemed hotel. The item in question is a silver wristwatch with a black leather strap. It holds significant sentimental value to me as it was a gift from my late grandfather. I distinctly recall wearing it during my check-in and throughout my stay at your hotel. I suspect I may have inadvertently left it either in my room or perhaps in the hotel lobby while waiting for transportation. Despite searching through my belongings thoroughly, I have been unable to locate it. I kindly request your assistance in locating and returning my watch. Could you please advise me on the appropriate steps to take to retrieve it? Any guidance or assistance you can provide would be immensely appreciated. Thank you for your attention to this matter. I eagerly await your prompt response. Yours faithfully, John Smith. As you can see, the letter opens with a formal greeting. We then move on to the main body of the paragraph. In the main body, you will be required to respond to the points outlined in your test question. And then finally, we have our closing, which should also be formal. As you can see from this example, the letter avoids all kind of informalities. For example, the letter avoids the use of contractions. We say I am rather than I'm, and we say I have instead of I've. The assessor needs to see that the style of the letter is appropriate to the format. Now, unless you're addressing a friend, letters are usually written in a formal style. Now let's look at some of the language used in the letter. The IELTS test is a chance for you to display your English language capabilities. One of the ways you can demonstrate this is by using advanced vocabulary. Let's take the phrase esteemed hotel. I could have easily written here, your great hotel, or your wonderful hotel, or your good hotel. Now all of these words are great, but they are common and average. If you are confident enough to use an advanced adjective, then go ahead and use it and impress the examiner. But if you have any doubts about the misuse of a word, then stick to simple language. The letter contains other advanced vocabulary too. For example, I distinctly recall wearing it. I could have said, I clearly recall wearing it. Also take note of what are called in English collocations. Collocations are a pair or group of words that commonly occur together in the English language. For example, in the letter, I use sentimental value. Now the word sentimental is similar to emotional, but emotional value wouldn't collocate in the English language. In English, if something has emotional value, we normally say it has sentimental value. Collocations demonstrate to the examiner that you have an awareness of native English or the common uses of common phrases in the English language. There are many great collocation dictionaries that you can buy, but you can also find a wealth of resources online too. A final reflection on our letter is that it has a clear purpose. Make sure that you stick to the subject matter that you are given. So, to summarize, to reach a higher band score for IELTS General Training Writing Task 1, you need to include each of these features in your letter. A clear purpose, appropriate tone, present and highlight all the bullet points you are given, and use the appropriate format. If you benefited from this lesson, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Good luck with your IELTS exam.